Imagine living in a world where power isn't just about politics. It's about owning palaces worth billions, yachts bigger than small towns, and fortunes so vast they're almost invisible. Where the richest leaders don't just rule countries, they craft empires of luxury and influence that stretch far beyond what the public ever sees. Welcome to the secret lives of the world's richest presidents and rulers in 2025, where money isn't just power, it's a whole other dimension. Ready to uncover the mysteries behind their billion-dollar facades? In 2025, the line between political power and unimaginable wealth is blurrier than ever. Take Donald Trump, for example. Once known primarily as a businessman and politician, he has reinvented himself as a multi-billion-dollar man. Trump's net worth, according to Forbes and Bloomberg, now stands around $5.4 billion, nearly doubling in just 2 years. But this wealth isn't from traditional ventures like hotels or golf courses. Instead, it's fueled by a unique blend of identity investing and media savvy. At the heart of Trump's financial resurgence is his media company, Trump Media and Technology Group, which owns Truth Social, his social platform. After merging with a public company, Trump's majority stake instantly soared to over $3 billion on paper. However, this firm's revenue was a mere $4 million in 2024, making it less of a typical business and more a symbol of loyal followers investing in the idea of Trump himself. His supporters see him as more than a politician. They see him as a signal of unity. Adding to this unconventional empire, Trump launched NFT trading cards portraying himself as a superhero, cowboy, and astronaut. Despite the absurdity, these digital collectibles sold out within hours, generating millions without a single marketing dollar. His lavish lifestyle continues too. His iconic Boeing 757, dubbed Trump Force One, boasts gold-plated seatbelts, a private theater, and custom leather interiors, all after an expensive renovation. Meanwhile, his Mar-a-Lago estate remains a magnet for political deals and media events, with membership fees reaching $500,000. But beneath the glitz lies controversy. The Securities and Exchange Commission is investigating Trump Media for potential misleading disclosures, raising questions about whether it's a genuine company or just an elaborate fan club. Still, Trump's genius isn't in building companies. It's in selling his persona, turning attention into a multi-billion-dollar asset. Meanwhile, across the Black Sea sits Vladimir Putin's so-called palace, a $1.4 billion fortress that embodies secretive opulence. Though Putin's official income is modest, many believe his real wealth, hidden through proxies and loyalists, could be in the billions. The palace itself includes underground theaters, a private ice rink, wine tunnels, and even a pole dancing room guarded by Russia's intelligence agents. Unlike Trump's loud spectacle, Putin's wealth is a silent weapon, carefully concealed, yet vast and untouchable. These two figures reveal different faces of power in 2025. One flamboyant, loudly monetizing every move. The other shadowy, cloaking immense riches behind layers of secrecy. Their fortunes are not just symbols of personal success. They're expressions of how modern leadership blends money, influence, and myth. In 2025, the richest rulers on earth are not just heads of state, but silent owners of massive hidden fortunes. Their wealth often remains invisible, cloaked behind layers of financial secrecy and complex legal structures. This chapter dives into how these rulers protect and grow their billions without ever making a public show. The art of hiding wealth has become a necessity for many global leaders. Public scrutiny, sanctions, and political rivalries make it dangerous to flaunt riches openly. Instead, these rulers use offshore accounts, shell companies, and family trusts to keep their fortunes out of sight. Take Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia. While his official net worth is known to be in the billions, experts believe his real fortune could be several times higher. Control over Saudi Arabia's oil industry gives him immense economic power, but the actual value of his holdings is shielded by private investment vehicles and secret deals. His investments span from luxury properties in Europe to technology startups in Silicon Valley, all managed discreetly. Similarly, Russia's Vladimir Putin, often portrayed as a strongman, is rumored to have access to enormous wealth through close associates and shadow companies. His personal fortune is difficult to verify due to the opaque nature of Russian business and politics. Yet, it's widely believed that his network controls stakes in major energy firms and banks, funneling billions into bank accounts. In China, Xi Jinping's wealth is not publicly disclosed, but insiders suggest his family has stakes in some of the country's largest corporations. The Chinese Communist Party's control over information makes it nearly impossible to know the full extent of these assets, but leaked documents hint at vast holdings managed through trusted intermediaries. Monarchs like the Sultan of Brunei and the rulers of the UAE also maintain enormous wealth through discreet investments. Brunei's fortune largely comes from oil and gas, but the Sultan's assets include private yachts, palaces, and shares in global businesses, all held behind layers of financial privacy. The UAE's ruling families use subsidiaries and trusts to expand their influence in real estate, luxury brands, and technology, often avoiding direct association. This system of hidden wealth has deep consequences. It allows rulers to wield influence without accountability, fund political projects or personal luxuries, and protect themselves from international sanctions or legal investigations. The secrecy around their fortunes makes it hard for citizens and even governments to challenge corruption or misuse of power. Yet, this invisibility also creates a fragile balance. If these hidden networks are exposed, the fallout can be immense, causing political upheaval and economic shifts. Whistleblowers, investigative journalists, and financial watchdogs continue to seek ways to unveil these secret empires, but the rulers adapt, evolving their methods to stay one step ahead. In essence, the richest rulers of 2025 are masters of concealment. Their true power lies not just in their official titles, but in the vast, invisible financial empires they command, empires that influence the global stage from the shadows. Wealth in the hands of rulers is not just about personal luxury. It is a key instrument of power on the global stage. The richest rulers of 2025 use their financial empires to shape international politics, control resources, and influence economies worldwide. This chapter explores the strategies they employ to maintain and expand their influence beyond their own borders. One of the primary tools is investment diplomacy. Rather than sending armies or negotiating treaties alone, rulers leverage massive investments in foreign countries to gain political leverage. For instance, the UAE has poured billions into infrastructure projects across Africa and Asia. These investments secure alliances, open new markets, and create economic dependencies that increase the UAE's global clout. China's Belt and Road Initiative is another striking example. Funded and directed by the Chinese government under Xi Jinping's leadership, this multi-trillion-dollar project builds roads, railways, ports, and factories across dozens of countries. While it promotes development, it also extends China's influence by making participating nations economically reliant on Beijing. Through these infrastructure ties, China gains access to resources and strategic locations crucial for global trade and military positioning. In Russia, Vladimir Putin uses control over energy supplies as a geopolitical weapon. Russia's vast reserves of natural gas and oil make it a vital supplier to Europe and Asia. By selectively cutting or threatening to cut supply, Putin can pressure countries into political concessions. These energy resources become bargaining chips in conflicts, sanctions, and diplomatic negotiations. Saudi Arabia and its crown prince also wield power through control of the world's largest oil reserves. The kingdom's decisions on oil production impact global prices, affecting economies everywhere. Their financial strength enables them to invest heavily in international markets, from Hollywood studios to tech companies, expanding their soft power. Besides investments and resources, these rulers influence global governance. They fund think tanks, cultural institutions, and international organizations that promote their interests. By sponsoring events, scholarships, and media outlets, they shape public opinion and policy debates in their favor. Moreover, the wealth allows rulers to build formidable security apparatuses, ensuring internal stability and suppressing dissent. This internal control is crucial for maintaining their global ambitions, as a ruler distracted by domestic turmoil loses influence abroad. However, such concentration of wealth and power also raises ethical questions. The gap between the ruler's riches and their citizens' hardships often leads to social unrest. Critics argue that these rulers prioritize personal enrichment and geopolitical dominance over human rights and equitable development. As the world becomes more interconnected, the influence of wealthy rulers will continue to grow. Their ability to move vast sums of money, shape markets, and direct political outcomes means that understanding their strategies is essential for anyone interested in global affairs. In the coming years, the dynamic between these rulers and the rest of the world will define international relations, economic stability, and the balance of power. The fortunes behind the thrones are not just personal. They are forces that can shape the destiny of nations.